co-ops work. So there are so many different kinds of housing cooperatives, and people that live in some of them will say that people that live in others aren't living in a housing co-op, and they fight over the labels and the identity and everything. But and a lot of those models really don't look very much like each other at all. So there are housing co-ops where people actually own the property together, and that is not necessarily related to whether there's community on like an everyday sort of basis that goes into making that housing perpetuate itself. There's, for instance, lots of celebrities like John Lennon, I'm told, and Jerry Seinfeld live in housing co-ops, but these are like skyscrapers in New York City where they each own, every person that lives in that skyscraper owns a share of the entire skyscraper. And so it certainly makes housing, more affordable, not necessarily for low-income people, but it can serve that purpose as well. And those organizations are governed still by a board that comes from the residents. I don't have experience with actually any of those kind of co-ops in any sense. I've lived in co-ops for over 10 years now that are owned actually by nonprofits, where the board of the nonprofit is elected from the membership. And really what the co-op identity, where that comes from, is the day-to-day interactions of making food together, sharing tools, sharing sociability. And it's usually in higher density housing, because when you have people that want to share resources in that way, then they can, once they have a bit of structure and some ground rules about how to communicate, and there's process for dealing with conflict, then you can get a lot more people in a much more efficient, sustainable space. So that's the kind of housing co-ops that I've had experience with. They're all those kinds. I think they should all call themselves co-ops if they want to.